I've got another recovery session for you today. This one is for shin pain.
Hey, I'm Steph. I'm a physical therapist, an online run coach, a runner, a mom. I'm the creator of the Beginners Running Group on Facebook and Beginners Running Program. I have a love and passion for helping beginner runners and beginner again runners learn to love running, learn to be consistent with it, and learn how to get faster without getting hurt.
I've got another recovery session for you today. This one is for shin pain. Now, who has ever had shin pain? I mean, if you run, if you've tried running, that's why you're here, so of course you have. You likely have had some kind of shin pain before. It is not pleasant. It can come on very quickly and be very uncomfortable. So if you've had it before, comment below. So shin pain can come in different areas. It can come kind of on the outside of your big shin bone. It can also come on the inside of your shin bone. So obviously, you know, I don't know where it's coming from. The people that, you know, I learned this routine from, don't know where it's coming from. But what the beauty of this session is it's going to get everything all around it, including areas up in your hip that may be tight, that may be causing some of it. So we'll go through the routine. I have got a couple different balls. They just use a tennis ball. I wanted to show you my rubs ball too for the bottom of the foot. I have my stretching strap, my yoga strap, and I have my foam roll. So those three things at least you will need. I'll go through this session. Now I want to say today too that, you know, I'm talking about pain, but pain is very subjective and it's on a scale. So shin pain can seem very severe, but if you're off of it and it doesn't hurt, it's not necessarily an injury. For example, myself, I lifted weights yesterday, a little heavier than I have, and some moves that I haven't done before. So my quad muscles are really sore today, and technically it's pain that I'm feeling. But on the 0 to 10 scale, it's maybe, you know, a 2 for the most part. When I'm just sitting here now, it doesn't hurt at all. When I go to get up from this position, it's going to be probably like a 3 or 4. But that's just in the muscle. So kind of pay attention to where you're feeling your soreness too and your pain, and when you're feeling it. And that can kind of help you determine if it's just, you know, a pain from a new activity, or if it is from, if it is an injury. So, and this program or this session is not designed to replace any kind of medical advice that you've had. It is not, you know, to diagnose anything, and, you know, consult somebody, medical provider, before you start anything new. So you're doing this at your own risk, just so you know. So we are actually going to start at our hips. I'm going to do just the one side for today, but I would definitely recommend doing both sides. So we're going to start with the tennis ball. I'm going to put it under, we're going to do that kind of piriformis release. So turn so you can see. So I'm going to kind of sit on it a little bit and find an area that might be kind of tender or sore down in my glutes. So if I find a spot that's sore, I'm just going to hold on there for 15-20 seconds, just trying to get that muscle to release, because tightness in the muscle can affect our form, which can affect down the chain down to the shin. So we want to make sure everything up top is loosened up as well. Okay, so you can kind of go with what feels good. If you feel like it's pretty much loosened up, then, you know, you're probably good to move on. But I would spend at least 30 seconds to a minute kind of rolling around, finding spots that may be tight. Okay, then we're going to do an arch roll, and that's why I have my rubs ball, because it's a little bit firmer rubber, and then it has these little spikes on it. And I recommend these in the clinic a lot. They're like $5, and they're really great for feet. A racket ball is also really nice because it's just a little more dense than a tennis ball. However, if all you have is tennis ball, that will work too. So I'm just going to stand up so you can kind of see my foot. So first of all, on the tennis ball, I would just roll back and forth. And again, as I press deeper, it's condensing, it's squishing. So that's where I like the Lacrosse Ball, because I can get in a little deeper and it's not gonna deform on me. So just make sure you go kind of in and out. The inside of the arch is probably where you're gonna find most of the tightness and most of the knotting. So spend again 30 seconds to a minute massaging that out. That actually feels really good. And again, both feet I would recommend doing. Okay, so we're done with the ball. Now I'm gonna grab my foam roll and we're gonna roll the front shin muscle. So I'm gonna do both at the same time with this one, maybe, just to start anyway. So I'm just gonna roll forward and back on the shin muscles. And if I wanted to kind of get off the bone a little bit, I would just shift to the side and rotate my leg in a little bit, and then you're gonna get a little deeper into that shin muscle. And again, if you're having some shin pain, shin splints, then it's gonna be sore, but it should be kind of a good hurt, if you guys know what that is. So where like it hurts, but you can tell it's gonna help, it's gonna release. That's what we're going for with this. Okay, and then we're gonna do the outside peroneal muscles. So on the outside of the lower leg, I'm gonna stack my feet, come up a little higher here, and go right up the outside of that lower leg. Yeah, that gets sore. I don't do this one very often, because thankfully I don't really have issues with my shins, but kind of roll all the way up, all the way down. It's just, again, all of the muscles all the way around that shin. Okay, then we're gonna do the calves. This one I do a lot because I have a lot of calf tightness, so I try to prevent. And again, you can either go both at the same time. You can just kind of lift this one up, or if you want the most pressure, you can cross them over. And make sure to rotate that leg in and out. Roll up and down the whole calf. This is intense, but again, it's that good hurt that I know is going to release and relieve after. So up and down, rotate in and out, all the way from the bottom up to the top, and do what you need to there. Then we're going back to the hip for the front hip muscle, so that TFL. So if I'm gonna do this side, I'm gonna kind of rotate that way a little bit. I'm not going on my shin bone, but the very top of my quad muscle, front part of my hip, and I'm just gonna roll over that a little bit. I'll hit this side since I'm right here. And again, if you find a spot that's really sore, you can hold it, stay on it for a little bit. Don't go right on your hip bone. Okay. All right, done with foam roll. Now we need our stretching strap, and we are going to do calf stretch laying down. So I'm going to lay on my back, wrap this around my foot. Okay, now I don't want a hamstring stretch necessarily, but what I'm going to do is bring my leg up a little ways. I'm going to actively bend my ankle, and then I'm just going to pull 2 seconds with the strap, release. Bend my ankle back, pull 2 seconds, to get more of a stretch and release. I'm going to do that 10 times. So that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And again, I'm feeling it more up here. You might feel it anywhere along the calf, wherever it might be tight. I'm going to switch sides, pull up, pull the strap. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, and I don't need that anymore. We're going to do our soleus muscle. And again, I would recommend doing these on both sides, because then you can kind of see what's tight on one side may not be tight on the other side, and then maybe you need to do an extra set on the side that's sore or tight, and you know, vice versa. So, okay, now we're going to get our soleus muscle. So this sits down underneath the big calf muscle. It helps to move our ankle, push down our ankle when our knee is bent. So obviously in running, depending on your style, this can get really tight. So this we're just going to do in this position, because again, we want the knee bent, and I'm going to pull my ankle up, and then I'm going to just pull on it with my hands for 2 seconds and relax. So pull up, pull with hands, 2 seconds, release. So that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Switch sides, pull that one up, pull with my hands for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And that one felt a little tighter to me. All right, last one is our hip stretch that we did for the knee as well. So one leg back, one leg forward. You're going to tuck your tail under so you're nice and tight through here. And then all we're doing, I'm going to keep my hands here, is we're going to lean forward for 2 and then back. Forward, 2, release. So I'm feeling that right here in my hip flexor. There's 3. Go a little farther each time. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And I'm going to switch. Tuck my tail so my tummy is tight. Kind of rotate a little bit. Lean forward for 2. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And that is your shin pain recovery session. I want to give credit where credit is due. This is the book that I am getting these from. I talked about that in the knee pain one. It's a great program by Mike, excuse me, Mike Verstegen, Core Performance Endurance. They have all kinds of information on here, and a great program. So I am borrowing, sharing their information, and because I really like it, and adding in a few things of my own here and there, like the Lacrosse Ball that I like better for foot massage. But add this in, you know, if you're having shin problems, I would try and add it in twice a week if you can. And even as you recover from the shin pain and get back into running, I would still incorporate it here and there to prevent it from happening again. Otherwise, just if you're having some, like I said, aches and pains, like I'm having in my quads today from lifting, you're just feeling some soreness in different areas, please try some recovery sessions. Give yourself a chance to recover faster and better. And then once you get out for your next run, you're just going to feel that much better afterwards. So get out there and run. Share this out with anyone who needs a recovery session for shin pain. Say that 3 times fast. Thanks for being on, guys. Happy running.